Just behind me is Broughton Hall. It's been home to the Tempest family for over 900 years, and it sits on the edge of the gorgeous Yorkshire Dales. Broughton Hall Estate has evolved in the 21st century to Broughton Sanctuary, which is a space that is rooted in nature and well-being, and I'm going to be experiencing this today. When I married into the British aristocracy, it was the start of a wonderfully exciting journey. But for an American girl from a small town outside Chicago, that was also a little daunting.
I live with my husband Luke, the Earl of Sandwich, and our family at Broughton House in Dorset.
Living in a place like this is a joy, but also a challenge. And every day we're aware that we're preserving a very special part of Britain's heritage. Broughton has opened up an extraordinary new world for me, and I can't wait to share it with you all.
So if you love castles and manors and stately homes as much as I do, please join this American Countess as I journey into the British countryside in search of some of Britain's finest historic houses. Established in 1097, Broughton Hall is home to the Tempest family, one of the oldest Catholic families in England. The current custodian, Roger Tempest, is the 32nd generation of the family, which traces its roots back to the 11th century. Roger and his partner, Paris Ackrill, are regenerating this historic estate into an innovative and inspiring well-being experience, a place of peace and tranquility.
Hello!
Hi, Julie!
Oh my gosh.
Welcome.
It is so wonderful to be here.
Welcome to
hello.
Bronze.
Wow.
Nice to see you.
Amazing. You've brought the sun. Thank you so much. But the view is fantastic. The hall, I mean, and I can't wait to get out onto the wider estate just to see all the changes that the two of you, the power couple, have done, because you have really transformed this place into something that I think no other historic house owner that I can think of, and I filmed that a lot of places, have done. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
We're really excited to have you here.
You are. So I thought, just if possible, I could get a little tour and some history. That would be wonderful. So where am I? Where am I standing? I've just walked in. Where am I? What is
Where
this
are
called?
you? Well, this house actually is 1597, the core of it.
Right.
So it appears very Palladian, and it was Palladianized. And this bit you're in is 1597, and this conservatory was the very last bit added, which was 1855.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of alterations as
Yes.
more children came on the scene. We're a Catholic recusant family.
Okay.
So we've had many guests arriving through this door, but a few unwelcome ones, like Cromwell, who took over the house and hung, drawn, and quartered my ancestors, so it wasn't great.
No.
But there's still a chapel in the house, so we are a Catholic recusant family.
So Oliver Cromwell came
Yeah.
in. Wow.
Yeah, he
Here.
took us over.
He took
For
you
a
over
period
for
of
a period
time.
of time.
And then, like all families, you had to pay fines, and finally got
Yeah,
it
because
back.
you're Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've had 1,000 years in this area. So I'm the 32nd generation of Tempest. And
can I just pause right there, because that's pretty extraordinary that not only 32nd, but of course it has survived 2 world wars. It wasn't pulled down. It's still in the same family. It hasn't become a school or something commercial as far as corporate. It's still in the same family.
yeah, it is. And it's been down one little point, which is quite interesting to the modern viewer maybe. There was 32 generations of the eldest son, so to speak, or who was the oldest. available male line. So it was Sir Roger Tempest in the 11th century, and I'm Roger Tempest now, but and the next generation is Aya, our daughter.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So the 33rd custodian is going to be Aya.
Okay, that gives me chills.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
That era has descended upon us.
Yeah.
But over the 20th century, you're right, the 2 world wars were pretty bad. My grandfather was in the Somme. He was a brigadier general and had a really bad time. He got shrapnelled and mustard gas. And then my father in the Second World War got shot in the head in 1944, and he had to go back to, he survived, it hit a bone, and then he had to go back into, he was involved in the rescue of the concentration camps at the end of the war. It was pretty horrendous. I'm just reading about it at the moment, learning about it. At 61, it suddenly hit me what happened, and the concentration camp he had to relieve with all his, Scots Guards. They were part of the Scots Guards. There's 25,000 people died in the first 3 weeks after they were relieved. And one of his colleagues, I read, went blind when he arrived. For 3 weeks he went blind. He could not face what he saw.
He couldn't face what he saw.
Yeah. So 20th century here,
right.
This house was not derelict, but it was used as a hospital during the war and all
So it was requisitioned both times.
Yeah.
Hospital both times, or
only definitely the Second World War. I don't quite know about the First World War, but probably.
Right.
And then it had like any 20th century at the beginning, First World War, Depression, Second World War, then all the taxes were really bad in the 60s. After 1,000 years, just on the verge of not going to survive, and then we sort of slowly pulled around a few little ideas which made a massive bit of difference. So this house, as you go around, it's had major surgery.
Okay.
In the last 20 years, major surgery.
But did you grow up in this house?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah. First 6.5 years, I didn't, because my father's brother was here. Okay. And then he died in 1970s. And it was too sort of in a bad condition to move into in 1970, so we waited 2 years.
Okay.
And then we were brought up here. I've got 3 sisters and a brother.
Right. And you started to think about this later on, thinking, I don't want to live in cold, damp, I need to have some
debt.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say
capital tax. It is.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes. So wow. So that was a real shift from growing up in something that, yes, it's beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, because of obviously the wars, the Great Depression, and the taxes that were, of course, procured on houses like these and big, large estates, were you constantly thinking, I've got to do something different?
Always. So we had to find an answer to survive. You have to survive. And so going to the 1970s was a very bleak period, and my father found it very, very hard. And we were just selling everything. Sotheby's turning up, everything land going down. And there was virtually about one person who worked here. I mean, there was no good for the local community, no good for anybody. So what we did in the early 80s, we suddenly realised the death of distance was upon us, and all these old buildings like stable blocks, piggeries, old farms and things, they could be generating, in fact, jobs was the foundation of it. So we got the jobs going, and we ended up from 52 companies are now based here with 700 people working. Yeah. So it just completely, this huge alchemy went on. Right. And that's in the old buildings, which you'll see later. You
were like looking around and you're like, we've got all of these amazing buildings.
Derelict
buildings not being used. Yeah. How can we bring back life to them, but also bring back sort of jobs?
Jobs are the core.
Yeah.
Because they mean all the secondary effects from it. The pub's busy, the church is busy, the school's busy. With no people, it just doesn't work. So you get the jobs back in, and that's the engine house of growth. And then this alchemy started to happen, where we went in all sorts of different directions too. And especially with Paris and I, the last few years, we've gone to the outer nature and completely changed that from industrial farming to nature-friendly farming. Yeah. And completely changed that, and that's very exciting to see the changes. And I know we're both very aware of it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that, because of course we're doing the same thing at Mapperton, and it's always fun and interesting and enlightening to come and visit other estates that are doing something similar, and to sort of, in one sense, share ideas, but also to look beyond and be like, look at it working. It's really working. So I can't wait to get out on the estate with you and look at that.
Yeah.
But then let's touch on, before we go on the tour, touch a little bit about the two of you. Then you've done even more. I mean, you're just constantly transforming the estate here.
Yeah.
And it's now not just nature restoration outside. The two of you have something that, are doing something that, of course, I love, which is well-being.
Yeah, the inner transformation
Yeah.
work. I guess when we met, we were both quite on a journey of self-discovery.
11 years ago today.
11 years
I know,
ago today.
happy anniversary.
Thank you. And so we were talking a lot, in our first few years of being together, of the problems that we're facing in the world. Ecological crises, spiritual crises, like economic, just on all levels,
Yes.
health and, separation from nature. And so there was this sort of gradual evolution that started happening, and these sort of like rumbles that started happening sort of within us and on the estate. And we've sort of become this place, we want to be this sort of island of refuge where people can come to discover themselves really, and discover, our interconnectedness with nature, and to find solutions to the problems that we're facing individually and collectively. So that's really what we're about, a place for people to go on these journeys of discovery.
Yeah. It's incredible. And you host huge retreats here. Yeah, and then from small to big, but huge, but constantly. How many retreats? When I say retreats, it's not just yoga retreats. It can be mindfulness. It can be a meditation. It can be deep
psychotherapeutic work.
Exactly.
We're really interested in, actually really making an impact, creating change in people's lives.
Yeah.
So they can break cycles, break free from things that are holding them back. Releasing trauma, all sorts of different things.
And
a very eclectic place. So you can
which is great.
Yeah.
And giving them the space to do it.
Yeah.
And they love it. This
50
area.
retreats a year.
50 retreats a year. It's
So you might have
fantastic.
Path of Love, Hoffman Process, some of the regular, you'll know a lot of them. And people go through, so many people are living half-lived lives, and they're struggling. A lot of people are struggling. And here, this place, we're dedicating it to this sort of house of transformation.
Yeah.
And so you've got this big alchemy change from what this place was and what it is now.
Yeah.
And it's actually very exciting on the ground, because suddenly it can be this great force for good without any doubt, and it's sort of contributing, this wonderful social output. So the house is used every day. Yeah, we do films here like All Creatures Great and Small and Gentleman Jack and all these sort of things, but we're also we'll get 50 people, sometimes up to 100 people staying all over. We have 20 retreat houses too, and they're just staying here. And the facilities are quite exciting, which you'll see.
Which I'm going to see. I can't wait.
Yeah, you'll see those. We've got a state-of-the-art, Wellbeing Centre, and outdoor pool, indoor pools, while swimming.
Meditation labyrinths, screaming fields.
Oh my
all
gosh.
sorts.
Fire temples.
I love a meditation
Sweat
labyrinth. I might
lodges.
have to do that today and just go round and round.
But what's, I think, the really interesting point here is that all these places, historic houses and areas of land, can they find their real purpose? And you need to redefine it and get something which really sort of takes us forward to the future. And ironically, this place, I feel, is all about the future rather than all about the past. We respect the past,
Yes.
but some things have to change. And so we have, it used to be Broughton Hall Estate, and we call it Broughton Sanctuary, because we think that is a stronger metaphorical sort of word which defines the work we do here. And I think there's a lot of complications in life with hierarchy, entitlement, the past, all these sort of things. And it's sort of trying to shift it into a new way of looking at things. And if you're looking at it through a different window. And so now we have this wonderful sort of totality of purpose here, which there might be 1,000 people here in a particular day. And so people have got access in all sorts of forms.
Well, should we have, I'd love to see the tour of some of the rooms. And maybe they might bring back some, childhood memories for you. You might sort of mention what you did in that room. I've heard of did you ever roller skate here or anything?
I've danced very badly. Without a doubt.
Brilliant.
So this is the library.
Yes.
And It's a beautiful room, actually.
It is
Love it.
lovely, lovely colors. And do you have memories of this when you were younger? I mean, was this a library when you were younger?
Yeah,
It was.
always. We've done
Okay.
it. We've done it. There's this thin line between, you know, when you're restoring a house, making sure you're doing it in a very authentic way,
Yeah.
not making it into some sort of
And being sympathetic.
yeah,
too.
being sympathetic.
Yeah.
And this has had a lot of restoration. All the books, you know, each book's been restored and whatever. But you'll see in the next room a lot of restoration went on there. But we used to have Christmas quite often here. I've got 3 sisters and a brother and parents, and we would have a Christmas tree in the corner, and just as a family when there weren't a huge amount of guests, so we would use it. But
And
whenever
now other people can
yeah.
come and have Christmas here as well.
they certainly
As you
can.
can see, there's no ropes.
Yeah,
you know, so
no,
we're-
that's
we're-
right.
Yeah. There's not, you know, you're not having to go through. People can take over the home as their own house,
Right.
as their own home.
And so when people come and stay here in the hall itself, do you, are they coming in here? Can they, you know, sort of hang out here?
Whole house.
Whole house.
They have the whole house. So people, we let the house out for a week, say, for exclusive use, and
Right.
it can be a family or, you know, multi-generational or whatever. And they come, and we have a really good team.
Right.
Look after them, and really good chefs and everything. So, and they just take, so they hang out here. They live, you know, Downton Abbey meets with a bit of modernity.
Yeah.
We have Wi-Fi and flushing loos and hot water. So 27 loos in the house
Yeah,
now.
but then they can go do sort of a nature walk, they can
Yeah.
meditate, they can do some yoga, they can do wild swimming. I mean,
Yeah.
who would ever want to leave? Now, I do want to focus in, because I love looking around at, you know, these wonderful, amazing, historic rooms, but furniture. I always am interested, especially in library. Do you have any like fun pieces?
Yeah, well, we do actually. One of the things with the furniture in this house, there was there's about 100 years of Gillow in this house. So Gillow was a really sort of Premier League furniture guy. And he was
Right.
a Catholic family, and we were a Catholic family. Lancashire, very near. We're in Yorkshire, but slightly
Right,
different.
right,
Lancashire
but
and
near,
Yorkshire.
yeah.
But so, for example, this piece
Oh my
we found the
gosh.
other day. Actually, I don't. This is a backgammon thing.
Yeah, it's
And then
amazing.
1803, it was 14 guineas in 1803, and we've got the original invoice for that.
No.
So, but you just
14
put that
guineas.
back
Can
in
you
there.
believe
Look, it just
that? Look at
sits,
that.
it just sits
Yeah.
in there. You know,
But you could even play your backgammon in there.
221 years later.
200, incredible.
And then you've got over here. There's one book here, which is this is my great-great-grandfather's book, and we've got the original invoice. Where's his name? It's somewhere here. The original invoice for this. It was Sir Stephen Tempest, and he was 15 guineas. And these are his handwriting and his notes. And I mean, look at the detail.
Look at
1743 or something.
Unbelievable. Look at that.
And so he was probably, you know, when the house is always getting poshed up a bit from
Right,
era
right.
to era, if there's any money about.
Right. This is what they would think
Yeah, they'd look to
possibly
that.
want to put-
Batty's, what was it called? Batty Langley's designs. It's
In-
sort of interiors
Yeah, it
of
is.
its day.
It is, it is. How wonderful. And also what's so nice is they come into a room like this, and it's not just filled with ancestors, it's the both of you are with your daughter. I mean, fantastic.
It's a cozy, you know,
yeah.
it's obviously it's a grand historic house, but it has a cozy family feel. It's warm.
Yeah, absolutely. And you two are the living history. You're making memories that, you know, that your daughter will be able to tell that, you know, one time my parents were filming with this American and walked through this room. But do you see, I mean, and that's what's so wonderful, is that it's constant memories. It's not a museum.
Yeah, and all of this human endeavor, all of this creation, you know, it's a place where we can celebrate the best of the old with the best of the new, and where you can come and experience that and live it for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, do we need to go back out that door to
No,
exit?
we've got a secret situation.
Oh.
A secret. We're passing, actually, you're talking about visitors. This is when Joan Rivers came here.
Oh, good old
And
Joan.
she came here.
Looks good there.
She was amazing, actually. My mother had a really bad accident, and you know, she fell off a camel and was sort of wheelchair bound for 17 years, quite a while. Anyway, Joan Rivers was really sweet with her, actually, and she pulled out of her bag this little iconic thing of someone, St. Columbus or something. She said, "I've been carrying this around for a few years now, and I finally know who should have it," and she gave it to my mum. That was really sweet.
That is really lovely. Okay, all right, no, I love, this is fantastic.
After you.
Oh my goodness. Who doesn't love a library door with books? Oh my goodness, it's beautiful.
This is the green drawing room.
This is the green drawing room. Lovely, and I can see the lovely, is it silk or is it the wallpaper?
Flock wool. You've probably come across Edward Bulmer's work. We've had Alec Cobb working on the house for the last 20 years, and Edward in particular came to help in this house, and it's flock. You can actually feel it, but it's the original wallpaper which we
Replicated, right.
And then, I mean, this room's had big surgery.
Green drawing room, big surgery.
Yeah.
That you did.
Everything.
Yes.
Didn't it used to be like completely like whitewashed, and the chandelier was black with soot?
Yeah. There are 138 pieces in that chandelier, so we took it down. And when the tower scaffolding was there, it was spread all over the room. You couldn't believe how much is in that chandelier. But all the gilding used to be brown painted when we first came, because they couldn't afford the gilding, to do it. And then things like all the textiles. We tried to keep all these textiles being ruined, and we got these all redone. One or two of them we sort of left, which they might have their time at some stage. No, the carpet was absolutely ruined, so we redesigned new carpet. Edward Bulmer redesigned a new carpet.
Okay, but similar to what had been here before.
Pretty similar.
Right, so you're just trying to do like for like as much as you can.
As much as possible. Wow. And then paintings, we bought a few new paintings just over there. Had a lot of businesses away from here to try to fund this place, which is like this eating pool.
And you bought back a lot of paintings also that the family had lost over time.
Okay, so you were able to, in some cases, retrace where the paintings had gone and then waited for them to sort of come back up for.
Yeah. And it's quite tricky doing it, but we did it, and we quietly did it. And so we've, the main thing, this house, I think, is all about human endeavour at the end of the day. And we've got all the history, and it's amazing history in amongst all this, but human endeavour is so important.
Absolutely.
And the craftsmanship and everything. And it's lovely that everybody, I suppose it was quite highly personalised to certain eras, my family and all the team who worked here, whatever. But now it's, it's just shared. It's part of our nation's heritage and everything.
Yes.
Everybody shares in a different way.
Yeah.
So it works well.
Extraordinary.
In terms of paintings in here, it's sort of classical Grand Tour Italian-y sort of feel, but those two are very good paintings. They're by Fabra, and they've been actually to museum exhibitions, and I feel he's a very handsome ancestor, that one. But it says Florence 1812. They had a house just above Florence in Fiesole. And then his wife was Elizabeth Weld from Lulworth down in Dorset, and she had 15 children.
Down in Dorset, there we go. She
15. And she's only two didn't survive, but
oh my goodness.
That's remarkable. When you know your ancestors, it is pretty amazing. We have an archive room here, which is quite special.
Yeah, I would love it.
Full of the history and knowing little bits of information.
So archiving is my sort of passion beyond obsession. Yeah, exactly. So I would probably love it.
I have heard about that actually.
So you've got ancestors from Dorset.
Yeah, she was.
She was.
Yeah, she was.
There we go. So I could look a little bit deeper and possibly, I'm sure it's going to happen. There's going to be a Montague connection.
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure
there always is. There's always a connection.
Now, on my left, I've noticed that because I assume that that's your family motto.
Exactly.
Now, I don't.
Knoweth as thou find, so it means love as you find, which is a really beautiful family motto because, as you know, there are many slightly darker ones, kill and be killed.
Yeah,
all that kind of thing, death and destruction or whatever. But yeah, ours is particularly beautiful.
But also what you're doing here at Broughton Sanctuary, and again, that whole notion of well-being, nature, love, kindness, compassion, and it's in your
Yeah.
I mean, that is...
I mean, we're quite lucky to
Okay,
have
that is
actually.
unbelievable.
And it's more relevant than ever, I think, because
Yeah.
working on outer nature and inner nature, and it just sort of sums it up.
Right.
It
So
all
there's some
ties together.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's meant to be. Okay, next room. I'm looking for an exit. Is there a secret door?
Yeah.
Yep, there is.
No secret door here,
Well,
but
that
it's
kind of looks-
it is quite a nice entrance, this one. I quite like doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
This is into the
Oh.
red drawing room.
This is so lovely.
And we would hang out here quite a lot.
Love this color. It's beautiful. It's like a good, it's like, I know it's the red drawing room, but it's like a good plum. It's good
Rich.
plum. Yeah. Really, really
Warm.
rich. Okay, room. Give me a memory growing up.
This was a very social room.
Okay.
So after dinner, come in here, hang out, play music, whatever, and just, just lots of guests and all that sort of thing.
Right.
But I love this room actually, I really do. This has had a lot of restoration. So these curtains actually took 4 years to do. I mean, it's so ridiculous with all the issues in modern society, and we're spending 4 years to do some curtains. But they're from Egypt, Portugal and India, all the bits to fill it together. And they're not cheap.
No.
But, trying to preserve the atmosphere and getting things
Yes.
right is really important.
Yes,
and
of course.
And then in here, you've got this fireplace. It's called a Sylvester fireplace. And it generates 3 times the heat, roughly, of a normal fireplace, because it's like a radiator on its side.
Yes, I see that.
Very clever. Because as a child, being brought up in this house, it was very, very cold.
Right.
And so a fire was like, "Ooh, yes.
Was it just, were the
yes,
fires
please."
constantly on?
They
in
were
the
a lot when we can, I mean, it was very frugal
Yeah.
living.
Yes.
We're in the dining room, with lots of coats on and everything. It was such a different atmosphere. Now we have so many people using this place and restored so much. It's like vibrant every day and it's positive and everybody used it.
Yes, yes.
And we've had in this room, can you remember when that tribe, the
Yeah.
Guatemalan Mayan elders
Yeah.
were here? And I thought, they'd want to be up at the Wellbeing Centre or somewhere else.
In Avalon with kind of the purity of the space,
right.
but no.
No,
They-
we want to be with the ancestors.
They wanted the ancestors looking down so they could really feel the ancestors here. And so we've had cacao ceremonies
Have
in
you?
here, genuine, like the
Yeah.
real stuff from the source, in these rooms.
So this beauty right here, you mentioned coming in here when you were younger, music by the fire. Was this here when you were growing up?
Yeah,
This
I
piano?
have to be honest on this one. There was another piano, and then a museum rang up and said, "Could you look after this piano for us?"
Right.
And so this piano actually used to belong to Sir Walter Sterndale Bennett, and I don't know. I think Chopin's played on this piano, so it's quite special, and it is actually used. But we
Yeah.
do get, I don't know whether you know the band James,
Yeah.
and they write some of their albums here. And so we have, and they had a #1 this summer, which was all written at Broughton. So we have a lot of
living
creatives.
room concerts.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we have, haven't we? Tim Booth in there.
Right. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful to hear that it's all being used. You've
All the
got
time.
music being created, then cacao ceremonies, and a group coming in here wanting to feel the ancestors.
So it's diverse.
It's diverse.
And then you
That's
suddenly
brilliant.
realise these places can be a wonderful force for good. And, they're contributing on all sorts of, amazing levels. And someone said, Andrew Harvey was here, the writer, I don't really know Andrew, but he, philosopher, and he said, Broughton's like a field, a metaphorical field, and people come in for all sorts of different reasons, even a little bit and a big bit, and someone came for lunch one day and he stayed for 7 months.
Yeah. So there's a beautiful Rumi quote, and it goes, "Beyond ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I'll meet you there." So we like to be this kind of field where we can go beyond all of the polarities and kind of come together, no matter what religion you're from, no matter what background.
No matter what your politics are from,
Yeah.
you can just come here and have clear thinking and connect authentically. Yeah.
You sort of rise above all the polarizations. Is one of our precepts probably.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can
And it's a
connect
lovely
with-
place to be.
Yeah. No, it is. I can feel it already. But the cacao ceremony, I love that.
Yeah, we always
Brilliant.
we always say we're a place to connect within, to connect in community, and to connect to nature.
Yeah, I feel it. All right, where to next?
Billiard room.
Billiard room. Oh, I love the sound of that. Fantastic. And a door. Not a secret door, not a sliding door, a door.
Mahogany. A lot of mahogany. So, this is the billiard room.
Billiard room.
A surprise. every historic house has a billiard
Yeah,
room.
yes, they do.
People like using it actually when they come and stay.
was
they
this a
do
billiard room when you were younger?
Yeah,
It was.
yeah, but it was a very different billiard room. So,
In what sense?
well, one morning we woke up and there was a plastic cover on the table and there was snow, about that much of
No.
snow. And we'll evidence the photo. So that's a state. The house was cold and
Right.
not great.
And not great.
I heard your parents use blue tack for the ceiling to
Yeah,
tack up some.
they
holes.
used everything. Sellotape, blue tack, you name it. Probably Brussels sprouts.
What, to plug up holes?
Yeah.
For the water pouring in. You used to have old hip baths, the really old ones. Oh, there's a leak.
Right.
I mean, the house, I remember in the 70s when I was, poor dad and mum, but there was a storm and then just the phone, everybody ringing in. My roof's pouring in with water. It was it wasn't good for anybody.
No.
No use for anybody.
No.
And so reviving every building, giving it a new purpose, a very good roof
Yes.
and all that, suddenly it works for everybody.
Yeah.
It's quite simple, really.
Yeah. Now this I've spotted right when I walked in. This is a just absolutely stunning doll's house. Stunning.
Yeah, this is my grandfather made this. So he was in the First World War in the Somme, and he was quite an interesting guy. He used to bring plants back. He was in the Boer War. He was in the Boer War in 1890s. And
Yeah.
he brought trees back from, he really loved trees, and he brought
Okay.
trees back from the First World War. But this was made out of old cigar boxes, and he got very badly injured in the First World War. So this is his recovery project.
What?
And-
It's made out of old cigar boxes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the little detail behind it, it's like the books have got little pages in. There's a loo roll in the loo. You can probably see it actually. I'll just it's not opening at the moment. But and one thing here is a tiny little copy of the Times newspaper. Look at that. And his friend was Geoffrey Dawson, who was the editor of the Times, who lived just up the road, and he gave him that.
And he gave him that. And did he build all the furniture?
Yes.
Yes.
In
so
the woodwork shop here.
What?
And his mother was an amazing. She did in the house. You'll see lots of fireplaces. She carved fireplaces. She was a carver. She was really cool.
And now Roger's niece is actually a luthier,
No.
so she
Yeah.
makes guitars.
So there's quite a bit of creativity in the
Yeah,
family.
of course there's.
Yeah.
I could stare at this all day. I mean, knowing that your grandfather made this and what a great recovery project. I always have this view in life that projects keep you young. They just
Oh,
do.
right, yeah.
And something like this. How fantastic. So did you ever play with this with your
Yeah, we weren't really allowed to. So
Right, okay.
in fact, it's being
Right.
spring cleaned at the moment. This is the front over here. You can see
Okay.
that where Paris is.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Oh,
that's
yes,
the internal.
okay.
I think they're cleaning the curtains and things like this, and we'll put it back. But everything needs care and attention and maintenance.
Yeah,
Everything has a cycle, doesn't it? And you
Oh,
just
look,
have
I
to
mean,
look
even
after
just the little mice here.
Tiny little mice.
Tiny little mice. He
There's-
thought of everything. So you could literally stare at this all day. Look at that grand staircase.
Yeah, I've even got a vacuum cleaner. And then here, it's got a fan. And to see this was I think he finished in about early 1920s. But that fan used to have a battery and it used to work.
And it used to work.
That was pretty ahead of its
No
time.
way.
Yeah,
100
ri-
years
oh
ago,
my
yeah.
gosh.
Oh my gosh, I could just go through all the detail.
But you know about the learning, the history. I mean, recently we've just found from we found the map in the archive of some Druid circles in a burial ground. And it was from 1917, was it, P? Something like that. Was it 1907? Anyway, and then we found it on a map in 1721. And we never knew about it till just recently. And then a couple of years ago, we're looking through and we found the priest who was based here.
Right.
Was going to America, and he was on the Titanic. He died on the Titanic. He was giving last rites to everybody as they died.
No.
And he died on the Titanic. And all these funny little stories,
Yeah.
they're interwoven.
Yeah.
And then families come back here they've read something about their ancestors, and they come and connect with us again and everything.
Yeah.
And we've got an American family coming this next year, and they're sort of distant cousin, and they're bringing all the Tempest family from Utah City. You know?
And ancestors that have lived here and had their ancestors who have lived and worked here a long time ago can then come and stay and experience bits of it, and
Amazing.
There's tremendous connections.
It is,
That's the point.
and also just think of the connections that you both are making as far as bringing in the wider community from from those who live in England or in the UK, but also internationally,
all over the world.
And think about the transformation that's happening within their lives, and they're going to be telling that story to their grandchildren, children, and then them coming back and visiting and saying, oh, I need to come back and visit Broughton Sanctuary because this is where my grandfather really realized something or made a change in his life, and this was the place. So you guys are going to remember.
That's a real privilege. For us, because privilege without responsibility is a very ugly thing. And for the privilege, the people who come here and their lives are turned around, or we sometimes get people, in Avalon, they come and they just break down in tears.
Yeah,
sometimes,
of course.
don't they? For the work, they suddenly get it. And this world's made up of millions of little worlds, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we're just one tiny little speck on the beach. But, if we all, I love that St. Francis thing, so we all give a bit more than we take. The world's a very different place.
Yeah.
And the world is quite in trouble, isn't it, in one sense?
Yeah.
And places like this really have their place. There's no embarrassment about it. I'm so proud of Broughton, all that we do, and, and that's the way it is. And it's great.
It's brilliant. So well done to you both. It's absolutely brilliant what you both have achieved.
Well, it's a huge team effort.
Yeah,
Hundreds of people.
All
the creativity, all the daily kind of slog and work that people have put in. It's
well, I can't wait to get out there and see the Nature Recovery Rewilding Project, the Wild Wellbeing, and of course Avalon.
Yeah.
Did I get it all? Tick, tick, tick.
You certainly did. Tick, tick, tick.
The Broughton Sanctuary estate, on the edge of the Yorkshire Dales, spans some 3,000 acres, with 1/3 forming a nature recovery program where nature is being given every opportunity to thrive. Paris and I joined Kelly Hollick, nature recovery lead at Broughton, to see how the landscape is changing and reviving.
Well, lovely day,
Yeah.
and which is fantastic.
Yeah,
It's always nice. Look at that, we have the sunshine. So I can see here, there's a lot of tree planting that you've done, that you're doing right now. Is that right?
Yeah. So we've done 4 years. We've kind of started our nature recovery journey
Right.
4 years ago, and our
Right.
first kind of phase has been on the trees.
Okay.
And so we've done 4 years of planting. So we planted 330,000 sort of native trees and shrubs across
You've done 330,000
Yeah.
planting.
We've done 4 years of tree planting, so we kind of started the journey 4 years ago, didn't we? Sort of 2021. And our first phase was concentrating on getting trees back into the landscape.
Okay.
So we only had 5% tree cover on the estate.
Wow.
And a lot of that was like the non-native plantations.
Yep.
So we only had like a few sort of ash, which we've got problems with
Yep.
as well,
Yep.
and sycamore and hawthorn, and there was very little of it. And we've also got this compacted soil and tight grass from all of the kind of tens of decades of sheep farming that we've had. So yeah, we kind of kick-started it with getting trees back into the landscape. So we planted 330,000 trees.
Yeah, in order to create an impact, we needed to like physically plant the trees because the soil was so compacted.
And that's from all the sheep, the
Yeah.
grazing of the sheep for over decades after decades. Is that right?
Yeah, just like, just compacts the soil basically. All of the, yeah.
Tiny
So then
hooves.
planting the trees, then all of a sudden, because then the roots will go out and sort of, in one sense, move the soil around. Am I saying that correctly? And it rather than the sheep compacting it, it's starting to break it up.
Yeah, it's basically helping also. So you can see like this grass, we've got lots of different grasses and wildflowers coming through now.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a lot more kind of dense and rich. So all of the roots are helping to kind of slow the flow of water runoff into the local streams and things.
Yep.
So we're helping with flood management in
Yep.
the local area as well.
Wow. Fantastic. And 330,000 trees.
Yeah, over 330,000 hectares actually,
Oh,
interestingly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it's 18 different species of native
Yeah.
broadleaf trees.
Wow.
Yeah, and so with the planting, sort of the design of it, we have tried to mimic sort of natural zonation. So
Okay.
we've got these different canopy heights. So we've got areas of high forest where we've planted like oak and lime, alder and
Right.
aspen. We've got big open glades within the woodlands, and then these kind of high forest areas feather down to these medium-sized trees, and then on the outside it's kind of scattered shrub around. We've also planted a lot of wood pasture.
Yeah.
So these are these like clumps of plants which kind of mimics how trees would naturally grow. So there's kind of key like tree species surrounded by these thorny shrubs
Yes.
with this big open land which allows for a bit more sort of that kind of shifting cycle.
Yes.
So yeah, there's kind of lots of it was sort of like a lot of design thought went into the actual planting of it. Yeah.
It's more of a managed rewilding,
Yes.
basically, but trying to mimic natural processes as much as possible. And like Kelly said, we've tried different kind of things in different areas as well. So we do have some areas of land that we've just left and we're just leaving and we're just seeing what's happening there.
Yeah,
also.
what happens, what nature can, and we know that nature can recover
Yeah.
anyway, but it's seeing, and sometimes I guess, you do have to, in one sense, manage the nature recovery itself because of the damage that
Yeah.
had been done
Yeah.
prior
Yeah.
to that, and to really give it a kickstart.
Exactly. It's like a helping hand
Yeah.
to help it get there quicker.
Yeah. My husband always calls it, when we look out beyond and I can see, you've got the sheep there, but I can see a real difference, but he
yeah.
always calls it the green desert.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can see a shift from where the sheep are
Yeah.
and that green desert,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then what you've done
Yeah.
on this.
No, it's really
It's
nice because
incredible.
we are at that phase
Yeah.
where you can look out of the landscape and you can actually identify our land from all of the different colours. So this,
Right.
England's green and pleasant lands, actually England should be a mix of like different colours.
Yes.
And yeah, you can kind of see the roughage and the different textures and colours, and that kind of, you can kind of differentiate where our land is.
Yeah.
Um,
It's more
yeah.
beautiful to look out.
Oh, absolutely. And
To see
teeming with
this.
wildlife.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
went
exactly.
through walking through those sheep fields where, let's be honest, the grass is this long,
Yep.
there's no life, there's 2 species of grass and some sheep. You walk through these long grasslands now and they are literally teeming with insects, aren't they? There's like
amazing?
crawling at your feet, buzzing at your head. That
Yeah.
brought in the small mammals, so there's voles running as you walk in. That's brought in the bird of prey. So we did have barn owl, buzzard, kestrel, but we've just got an influx of them now. We had, how many eggs was it we had this year? 41.
Yeah, and we've had an osprey on the land, we've had a stork on the land, and we had someone recently who was he does quite a lot of nature photography on the land, and he saw 10 barn owls in like one
Hunting in one field,
one field, and at like 5 a.m. in the morning or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was
And
10 together.
the speed at which it returned, so when we first
Yeah.
started, I was a little bit, right, we'll get the trees in, like 20, 30 years, will we see some biodiversity? But actually that first year, and just letting the grasses grow, it happened within
Right.
sort of 6 to 9 months. This sort of like, build it and they will come.
Yeah, it's so true. It's amazing just to see, again, what you've done here, but also you did mention you've got the voles coming back, and we know that the biodiversity from these lovely long grasses and birds of prey coming back. But have you put any animals on, sort of on the estate that help with that whole nature recovery and
Yeah.
rewilding?
Yeah, so we're now into what we are calling the phase of the beasts, which
Okay.
is an exciting phase to be in. So yeah, our first, as Paris was saying, the first 4 years were really kind of kick-starting that degraded landscape. So,
Yeah.
getting trees back in and kind of creating a foundation at you know, time is of the essence. So for us, it was, yes, it will naturally regenerate, but that could be centuries. So the trees have gone in. We've done 4 years of that. We're now introducing animals into the landscape. So we've got Iron Age pigs, which we can go and see. So they're kind of mimicking what the wild boar would have done. They're also helping break up that compaction and expose that bare soil. So we've got them, and we've got some cattle that have just arrived on no fence collars.
Okay.
And they're, again, kind of, you know, so with the animals, for us, it's about having different species that all eat differently, graze, browse, rootle, scuff things up, rub on things, and that mix kind of collectively, they're helping to kind of create that diversity. And so it's exciting just bringing them in and already seeing that difference that they're making. It's, you know, and you're not in control of it as well, which is lovely. You know, like release them and see what happens.
Exactly. It's so fun to see, because we've got Tamworth pigs, but I love watching them rootle.
Yeah.
They go so far in. You don't realize it. All of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, they are.
Yeah. I think what's super cool about them, I was reading actually that, you know, they're ploughing. It's like nature's plough, but the way that they do it, they're not destroying any of the mycorrhizal network.
Right.
So they're kind of doing that, whereas if you're ploughing with machinery, you're going too far in and it's destroying all of that. So what they're doing is kind of just the perfect balance of leaving what's needed and you know, breaking up the compaction, which isn't. So it's just like, well, it's just harmony, isn't it?
They're clever. They're clever, and that's what they're meant to do. Not a big machine. I'm not, you know, that is what those pigs. They're clever. They know what they're doing. Should we go see them?
Let's see them.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go.
Look at
Yeah.
this one.
Come on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, the other two.
So-
the other two take a lot longer to come up.
That's
They've been
here,
here
yes.
for sort of 2 to 3 months. Yeah, and you can already. I mean, these are the little beds that they've made.
Okay.
I know. So when we first got them, when I was watching them, they were kind of going off, pulling up these big tufts of grass,
Right.
and like walking on. And I thought, what are they doing? So I like followed them down, and they were basically making themselves each a little cozy bed. And so they've got 3 here, and they've got 4 different locations that they've chosen to sleep in. So if you go in, there's like 4 different areas where they've made these little beds, and depending, I guess, on the weather, and it's like where they go. So
And this was just under the tree here, so they've got some shelter, maybe.
yeah, this was the first one that they made
Right.
here. Yeah, you can kind of see it, and they're kind of getting in it.
So, how many pigs? How many Iron Age pigs?
So
do
we've got three
Okay.
Iron Age pigs, and they're in this area
Right.
purely because we were mentioning before we left some areas for natural regeneration, and so one area was our only arable field, so it wasn't compacted and it had bare soil, and that's doing amazing. We've got like 8 different species coming up. It's like really beautiful. But the 2 other areas we left were kind of the fields that we've been walking through, so very compacted, tight grass. We weren't seeing anything, you know, kind
Okay.
of like 3 years in, there's nothing coming up. And so we put the pigs initially like confined to kind of 40 acres in this regen field
Right.
to help them assist that natural regen.
Okay.
So already they're kind of using those powerful snouts, rootling, exposing that bare soil, breaking up that compaction. So they're kind of here while they do a job,
Yes.
but then eventually they will extensively roam around
Right.
basically, and they'll
Yeah,
kind of be mixed in with the native cattle that we've got.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
Yeah, but they're just kind of, we're just...
Yeah. No, I think we did that a little bit at first, and then we've had ours for 2 years, but they've now made. I mean, it's quite funny because you'll see like the white part cattle and the pigs together.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is great, and then the ponies in the background.
Yeah.
It's really lovely.
Oh, no, I
They
bet.
just all sort of. I don't even know if they know any of them are there. Do you know
Yeah,
they take
yeah.
no notice of each other? They just happen to be in.
They go about their business.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I mean, that's what's been really nice about watching these is that they're like really busy. You know, they've
Right.
always got a job on. They're like, you know, they'll just run past you. It's like, you know, what are they doing? They've got this mission, and they're constantly like,
So he seems quite sort of calm and content.
Yeah,
Possibly
yeah. No, they really are. It's just at the moment. So eventually they won't be fed. They'll be out just
Yes.
foraging.
Yeah.
But this one, when she arrived, she just had piglets, and so she was really skinny. And she
Okay.
was bold with these, you know, I mean, they're great mothers. They basically completely deprive themselves. And so we wanted to, Ben, who we got them off, was like, look, you're going to have to feed her up, get her condition on, and just observe. So we've been feeding, and we're just weaning them off food now.
Right, okay.
But yeah, so she, you know, they are a little bit here expecting something. But
Do you want to give her a little bit of a
Yeah,
brush?
I'm going to give her a bit of a brush.
Just be careful of her snout. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's a little bit. She's wanting some feed.
Some feed. Here we go.
Hello.
Hello. I'm just going to give you a bit of a scratch. Come on.
yeah.
Oh.
There.
The other two haven't even bothered to come, have they?
Here
They
we
must
go.
be quite happy.
Oh, yeah. Nice scratch.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh my goodness, this is brilliant. Good scratch. I don't have food, but I've got a nice broom here. Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
So they don't
Like-
they don't sort of stay together during the day. They're sort of
They,
off on
they
their
will have
own
been
missions.
together. Yeah,
Okay.
they will have been together. And I think the other two have just thought, oh, I'm just going to stay where I am. I think they'll literally just...
She
be-
doesn't have
they-
food.
I think they are.
Do you want to try calling them once more?
Yeah. Come on, pig. Come on, pig, 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 pig. Where's your sisters? Go get your sisters. Go on. I mean, we can have a walk down and look at the grassland. You can see some of the work, and they might be over there.
I love the wild landscapes of the Yorkshire Dales. The
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Because this is really the gateway to the Yorkshire Dales,
Exactly.
isn't it?
We're looking out onto the Yorkshire Dales National Park.
I mean, it's just stunning.
It's
Absolutely
beautiful.
stunning.
And actually, one thing we did is we removed all of our fencing. So you
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
not seeing the difference, but we had all of these square fields.
Right.
You know, and you removed all of that, and already it's just got this feeling of like openness.
Yeah.
And we put a lot of the telephone masts underground as well. Roger's like that's been one
Yeah,
of
yeah.
his big things is
Yeah.
just getting rid of all of that.
Really?
So we're really returning back to the wild.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's just wide open
preserving the
spaces.
landscape.
And it,
Yeah.
it just aesthetically makes a huge difference on a feeling.
Yeah, it does.
You know, like you're not confined in this
No.
system.
No, exactly. And you can just breathe better and you feel better, you feel lighter, and
Yeah,
it's just,
totally.
you're not looking at it as sort of a pylon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it made a big difference. But I just wanted to show you the leaky dams, which we've got here. So, you know, as we were saying, as Paris was talking about, a lot of the project being in the Aire Valley catchment area, we were looking at natural flood management.
Yes.
So the trees was a big contributor to that. But we also put
Exactly.
a lot of leaky dams in the watercourses.
Okay.
So because we don't have beavers in the landscape yet.
Right.
Yet.
You're coming onto
They're
that, I can
coming-
tell.
yeah, the beavers are next of the beasts to arrive, and we don't have the trees in the landscape. We've not got them limbs falling into
Right.
the water. So yeah, we anything kind of falling off, we're shoving in to the waters and just helping that to slow the flow.
To slow the flow.
Until the beavers
Until
arrive.
the
We're being the
beavers
beaver
Right.
until the beavers come and do a way better job.
Fantastic. So you're getting a pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get a pair.
And you've got your enclosure now, because obviously, we have to have these enclosures to begin with.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, so
hopefully
we-
everybody will get their head around this. That actually,
We don't need
beavers are
them,
good. We don't need these enclosures.
Yeah.
But how big is your enclosure then?
So we haven't built the enclosure yet. We're just on with the licensing.
Yep.
But the area they're going in is like 10 acres.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the fencing contractors are booked for the enclosure. And
Amazing.
Yeah, so,
and it's amazing. I mean, our beavers that we have, it's incredible to go into their enclosure and to see the work that they do in like one night.
Oh, really?
You go back and you go in the next morning and you just think, oh my gosh, look at what they've built, or look at what they've sort of gnawed away at. It's
amazing.
It's outstanding.
Yeah.
It's so much fun
we're
to see.
super excited about
Yeah.
seeing that. you
Yeah,
know,
and then
so-
of course all the the wetlands in particular that they've helped with us within the enclosure, but the biodiversity that has brought back is astounding. I mean, just even
Beautiful.
seeing like so many dragonflies
Yeah.
all around when we go into their enclosure, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, nice. Well, you're exciting me even
it's
more
so
about it.
exciting.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
And we have a specific wetland area that we're going to be restoring as well, down by the River Aire, right?
Yeah, you can just sort of see it. It's just in the valley bottom there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got the River Aire was straightened for the railway line. And so you
Right.
can see where the old oxbow is. and it is actually functioning as a floodplain, but it's draining really quickly, so
Okay.
it's not wet for long enough really.
I
And so
see.
one thing that we're wanting to do is re-establish that, make it create kind of scrapes and pools and over deepen them so it's staying wetter for longer. But this area is also where our farming for wildlife is. So we were talking about how we've got these two sort of models that intertwine.
Yeah.
We've got Rewilding, which our aim is nature restoration, and we've got farming for wildlife, where our aim is food production. But obviously, the biodiversity is a byproduct of farming,
Yes.
and meat is and food production is a byproduct of the rewilding. So it's just kind of a different focus.
Yes.
So our cattle on the farming side, they're in these our hay meadows and our kind of wetland area. So they're kind of helping make muddy pools in the wetland.
Great.
They're kind of helping that sort of diversity of structure for breeding waders birds. So we've got curlew and lapwing here, but no chicks surviving because of farming practices and crows perching on
Right.
walls and predating the eggs. So we're kind
Okay.
of getting the cattle in, farming, making you know, it's food,
Yeah.
meat production, but through having them there, they're kind of
They're doing
having
a job.
they're doing a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because quite a lot of people, you know, hear about rewilding and they think, oh, you know, especially within the farming community, there's a worry about food production. But, you know, firstly, we waste so much of our food, which is an issue which really needs to be looked at. And secondly, you know, a lot of like our rewilding land or managed rewilding nature recovery that we've been doing has been on our sort of worst quality soils. And then the regenerative farming and food production can go hand in hand with those you know, it's nature-friendly farming with the models that help to support biodiversity and support nature.
Yeah.
And with, you know, why also there will be food production naturally is because there aren't natural predators.
Yes.
So we have to keep the numbers down. And, you know, especially right now with all the trees that we've been planting, we've had a lot of deer coming, and then, you know, we have to cull some
Yep.
of the deer. And it's amazing meat, you know, no hormones, no chemicals, really wild, natural, very good for you.
Yes, absolutely. And the meat will be sold here as well,
Yeah.
and locally.
And yeah, a lot for our local community, and then people who are coming here with our hospitality and, you know, the transformational retreats that
Yes.
we're doing, they'll all be able to eat the food off the land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And that reminds me, I want to hear all about wild well-being
Yeah.
and what you're doing here. I mean, it's just right up my street.
Yeah.
And you guys are so inspirational.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just excited to hear about that.
Yeah, because we've got this rewilding of the land, and what kind of is unique to Broughton is the rewilding of the spirit.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, I can't wait to dive into that. This has been, honestly, this has been heavenly. Not just because the weather has
It's been good.
has
sun.
cooperated,
Yeah.
but it's just also fantastic just to be with the both of you and really hear your insights and your knowledge and your passion. It's coming from both of you. What you're doing here at Broughton Estates.
We love it.
It's incredible.
We do love
We
it.
do love it.
Yeah, I can tell. It definitely it comes across. So really, it was brilliant.
Hello, dear viewers. Are you passionate about history and stately homes as much as I am? Then sign up for the American Countess newsletter. Here you'll get exclusive insider stories from my latest visits to castles, manors, and stately homes, and stay updated on all the exciting projects at Mapperton. You'll also get access to all of my blogs, like the recent Legendary Balls of British High Society. So don't miss out, subscribe today, and join our wonderful community of heritage enthusiasts. From rewilding and nurturing the land to nourishing the human spirit, Broughton Sanctuary is striving to help rebalance our experiences and connections to the earth.
So this is Avalon.
The smell. I wish it could go through the screen right now, but this I already feel relaxed, and I've stepped 3 paces in.
Yeah.
But this is what you've created here on the estate.
Yeah, so this is our state-of-the-art Wellbeing Centre, and kind of the philosophy of Avalon has become really the beating heart of everything that we do. So, you know, wherever people are staying or whatever they're doing, quite often people walk in here, whether it's for a yoga class or, you know, doing one of our deep transformational retreats.
Right.
Yeah.
And the building is beautiful. It's very sympathetic to the environment here, and that was obviously done on purpose.
Yeah.
How long did it take from sort of start of concept to sort of complete? We've cut the red ribbon, I should say, and we've opened.
It was a few years, 2 or 3 years, I think. But it was a natural kind of organic evolution of how it actually came about. But yeah, it was really important for Roger, especially to really make it sympathetic with the hall. You know, the hall being this beautiful and historic architecture, to have something that matched that in the quality. And you know, the modern buildings do actually work very well alongside that, as long as it's, you know, feeding in well with the rest of the landscape.
Yes.
And we've incorporated a lot of biophilic principles within here, so you're kind of feeling nature from the inside. You know, big glass cantilevered, you know, looking out into nature. Glass fronted, and a lot of kind of elemental earthy colors and textures and shapes, from, you know, ripples to waves and local stone, and just bringing nature inside as much as possible.
Yeah, and having a safe space.
Yeah. Well, nature has a calming effect on the mind compared to like man-made shapes. So say if you're in a city or a town, looking at all of those kind of very angular buildings, it actually isn't as soothing for us as, you know, when we're seeing things that are curved and natural, and, you know, that Fibonacci, which you'll see on some of the doors, those shapes that we've incorporated.
So you really thought of everything here, because a lot of times you'll go to, you know, a Wellbeing center and it is very geometrical, and there hasn't been, I mean, it might smell nice, but it's purpose built.
Yeah.
This is built with a purpose.
Exactly.
And that's what's extraordinary. I can already see that, the ripple in the stone here and up above here, you've got that moving around, and, you know, and then obviously you can see, it's like I can just basically grab a branch there and bring it in.
Yeah, it was all very intentional, you know, from the initial stages, the architectural meetings, to the building itself, and to the interior design, all kind of woven together.
Oh, great. Well, I cannot wait to explore this.
Yeah, let's go and have a look.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm already in love. I want to jump in, but I won't. Or I wouldn't jump in, I would gently step in. Tell me a little bit about what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, so this is the pool suite, and we have the lowest chemical commercial pool that you can have, so it's really gentle on the body. Dolphins can actually survive in this pool. It's called a clear pool, and it's clean using UV and a few chemicals, but very low.
Right.
And yeah, we've used all local materials, so Yorkshire sandstone. And you can see there's ripples, this kind of undulating effect on the floor, and the ripples on the ceiling. And they're kind of representative of the effect that we can have on our communities around us. And, you know, from this little drop in the ocean to this kind of spreading effect that we can have. And yeah, that's all down, you know, pointing towards the inner transformational work that we do.
The work that we do, and rippling it out so it can touch other people's lives
and the
in a positive way.
Exactly, the choices that we make every day and the impact that we can have.
I love this design because everything around here is so, it's meaningful from within. So you're not just walking into what I was saying earlier, just sort of a purpose-built block. There's elements around it. Let me ask about I assume that it has some meaning. I have a feeling.
Absolutely. So this is source, and it's actually our logo, and it's this holonic source of light and source of life. And I guess there's lots of different words that you could use for it, whether it's consciousness, God, you know, just source really, the divine. And, you know, in life we have all of these different philosophies and different religions all pointing towards the same thing. So there's many different paths up the mountain, but essentially it's that essence that oneness, that
Yes, it
universal nature that they're all pointing towards. So
And that can bring us all together.
exactly,
rather than
exactly.
separate.
So at Avalon, we're a non-dogmatic space. So we've always really aimed for that purity. So people from different backgrounds and faiths can come here and feel at home. So we're not pushing anything, any
Right.
particular philosophy onto anyone, but hopefully it's sort of a house where everyone feels welcome.
I actually, and I'm not just saying this, I actually really feel like the energy in here, and I look out there, and that woman, I mean, I want to be her. I want, if I...
You are her.
Yeah, I'm just, that is extraordinary,
Yeah,
that sculpture.
We call her Madonna.
Madonna.
But you know,
Yes.
she's just
Yeah.
very Mother Earthly figure.
Oh my gosh, it gives me chills.
Yeah, bringing nature's principles inside, whether it's through, you know, the big glass-fronted spaces, through the colors, textures and shapes. That's essentially, we want to give people that feeling of being in nature even though they're indoors.
Yeah.
And so in the sauna and the steam room, there are these, you know, curved, very organic shapes, which is quite unique actually.
Yes.
The sauna, I think, was the second one made like that in the world. So yeah, it just has this very calming, serene effect.
Outstanding. I mean, I'm definitely coming back, Paris, and I won't be coming back filming. I'm going to come back and just immerse myself.
Just melt and
here
immerse.
at Avalon. Oh,
You're
all right.
so welcome, anytime.
There's so much more to see, isn't there?
Yes. So this is the nest.
Yeah, this is
You want to practice yoga up here?
Yeah, I'm like, when can I come back and bring my yoga mat? This is astonishing, and you really feel your, you know, nature is right there, and that you can then do your meditation or your yoga or.
And we've had all sorts of workshops
Yeah.
up here. Yeah.
So this is really, you know, Avalon, this was this big vision that you and Roger had. But it's much more than just some type of well-being center, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really, you know, we were talking when we first got together, we were both very much on a journey of self-discovery and, you know, talking a lot about what was happening in the world and what was breaking down and what is breaking through. And both of us kind of have this yearning to want to share some of the experiences and essentially the healing and freedom that we've got to experience from the journey that we've been on, and we want to share that with the world. You know, we're not missionaries or anything and pushing any particular agenda onto anyone, but really there's so much potential that we have as human beings, and you know, we've really lost our way. I think we can all agree that we're facing so many problems, and we've, you know, so many wrong turns, and it's like, what are we doing, you know? Like, always busy on our phones, disconnected from nature. We've lost that sort of beingness and connection to our essence. We've lost spaces to come together in ritual, to, you know, release trauma, to release emotion, to come together and celebrate. We've lost, you know, connection with the earth and where things are coming from. And, you know, that gratitude and the ability to really just rest back into our beingness.
Yes.
And so, yeah, this is a space for all kinds of discoveries. And we've had so many different thought leaders and thinkers from all walks of life, from all over the world, really.
Yeah, you have. And that's what makes this place so different. I mean, I felt it when I walked into the door, and I'm a yogi myself, and well-being and has been very much a part of my life, and also helped me, I think, come back to my authentic self, peel back the layers, and rediscover kind of who I am, but also connect with other human beings who also might be going through something similar, so that you don't feel alone.
Yeah.
And that's also really important. And this is what you've created here by having these retreats, these workshops. Like-minded people or people who are struggling or going through something can come together and not just work alone, but work with others and work with a professional.
Exactly. So beautifully put.
Yeah. Okay, so I can come back, yeah?
Any day.
Oh, I can't wait. Paris, unbelievable. I'm coming back.
Good.
With a renewed sense of calm, I returned to the hall where I met up with Roger to explore a very special and peaceful place.
Okay, can I just start off by saying what I find so wonderful, interesting, and unique and odd at the same time are chapels inside these historic houses. So tell me a little bit about the history here. I mean, and this is stunning, by the way.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's very peaceful in here, and it's still really well used. There's
Is
still
it?
services, yeah,
Okay.
everything. But the old chapel was probably in the centre of the house because we're Henry VIII and all that business.
Right.
Being Catholic, we had to hide. So we've got, priest holes.
Do you have
and
priest
things.
holes?
Yeah. And so, and then this was when you're allowed to be a bit more formal. I mean,
Right.
it's quite hidden in the house from the outside. But when you
Yes.
come in, it's pretty,
Right.
pretty out there, isn't
Yeah,
it?
no, it is. And the color scheme is fantastic. And so when were the interiors?
This interior is quite late. They remodeled it in the 1890s.
Yeah, I was about to say it's
So
about
quite,
Victorian.
Yeah, it's quite Victorian.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful, Mum worked for all her life with Mother Teresa and organisations. So she was very, she was coming every day. She loved it,
I think I saw a photo of your mother
Yeah.
and Mother Teresa in the library.
Yes, you would have done.
Yeah.
And but this chapel's really special. There's we've had quite a few little miracles in here, and one of them is something I witnessed personally. That we had two guests here. There was one was actually from Norway and Presbyterian or something. I don't
Right.
know which one it was. And George and Sarah, who was Greek Orthodox. And anyway, they came in. They were staying. They're friends of mine. And they came in, and she was like 44, and he's 55, just to give you an idea. And came in, and I thought, and I give someone the reading to read.
Yes.
And so I gave it to him to read, and he stood up there, and they'd been trying to have a baby for 20, 30 years or whatever, never happened. And she, sort of
Right.
44, yeah. Anyway, and he read the reading. It says, and she was called Sarah, and it says, and unto you, Sarah, who was barren, shall have a baby. And 9 months later,
No.
she had a baby.
No.
Yeah, and that's my godson.
No.
He's 21 now.
That's what an
Maybe a bit older,
extraordinary
actually.
story.
Yeah, true.
Did you know that the reading you were giving him had
No,
that?
no idea. No idea.
You just said, "Here's your
But
reading."
lovely, and there've been a few other things, and it's just lovely that.
That is.
But it's
lovely.
very well, it's quite well used here. It's sort of small. You might get 15 to 30 on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But it's the parish church too. But it's like odd being.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
parish
it's lovely.
church
Everybody
inside.
comes when we have retreats. People come and sit in here, and
Yeah.
sometimes a few readings. But it's a beautiful little jewel, really.
It really is, and it's so special. And you can, again, like what I felt all around the estate already, is just this incredible energy. There is just energy on this estate. What you and Paris have done, and again, the energy comes from ancestors as well. And but here,
Older generations.
yeah, all the generations.
It's beautiful.
How wonderful.
There we go.
The interiors at Broughton are stunning.
It's really about ancestors in this room. We got this is my grandmother, my grandfather.
Right, she's a beauty.
Yeah, she was a beauty. Yeah, they were friends.
Look at her, the way she's holding her string of pearls.
Yeah,
I mean,
Valerie, I knew her.
Did you?
Yeah, she
And-
died in the 1980s, but she had everybody had quite a lot of initials. So she was Valerie Arthur Tempest, so it was VAT. So her bags, the leather bags and things, so had VAT on them. VAT, so like a VAT office. My father's initials were HRT. My brother's initial, he's Piers Martin Tempest.
Okay.
PMT. It goes on and on.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Okay, and so you remember her, you've got fond
Yes.
memories of her. And
I never met my grandfather, but he was a brigadier general, First World War, Boer War, everything. And he died at the age of 74, so I never met him.
So you know, but he's the one who built the dollhouse.
Yes.
Is that right?
His recovery program
was
after he was ill. Yeah.
Because he was shot. Is that?
He was shrapnel and mustard gas.
Wow.
But my father was shot in the head. Yeah.
Okay, your father was.
Yeah,
But his recovery was building that absolutely exquisite dollhouse.
Yep.
But you do remember her.
She was, she moved to London in later years when we moved up here, and she was just very of her time. She was very, very beautiful, and she mixed a very, all the royal family and all this sort of thing. She was very, she was just and very, just.
So she was Valerie Tempest.
Yeah, Valerie Tempest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then great grandparents are here. These two look a bit stodgy here, but they weren't. He was in the Grand Nationals 7 times. He came second twice. And they were very much in love. All the letters we've got on them. But he was a rather amazing guy, actually. And when I was 14, I used to give help out on tours because Mum and Dad were doing theirs, and I would do it. And I used to say, oh yeah, she was a gynecologist. But what I actually meant to say she was a genealogist. So when we look at the archive room, her genealogy is amazing.
It's amazing.
She was highly intelligent. She was a good woman. She
Then,
was called Eleanor Blanche, and she was called Blanche because she was born on a snowy day. Yeah.
Lovely. Wonderful. And it sounds like you've got quite the archives.
Yeah, we're going to see those.
Okay.
And there's some archives, sort of archivist stuff here. Like behind here, we did a paint scrape. I didn't even know what a paint scrape is. I didn't until this happened. And going back till 16th century, 400 years of painting.
You've got to be kidding me.
All the different colours which used to be here. And I have to...
This is unbelievable that they
quite
were able
nice
to
colours,
do this.
actually.
They're actually quite nice colours. I actually quite like this sort of pinky raspberry colour there, soft raspberry.
I actually copied we have Alec Cobb helps us a lot on the interiors too. It comes up a couple of times a year or whatever. And this paint colour, in the 70s they painted it was an awful green colour.
Right.
But I got this colour from Cork Abbey. I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I like this colour actually.
Yeah, I want to steal this colour. It's and also it goes very well with the contrasting with the gilt. So that all looks fantastic.
I think it's worked.
Yeah, it really has.
So
What's this?
One
Another
of the,
secret
one
door.
of the 97 rooms in the house. Can I repeat?
One of the 97 rooms in the house. You're going to love this.
So this is where my great-grandmother, she did a lot of carvings. And,
Yes, you mentioned.
And this is all her equipment. So you can see all her equipment. So she would carve fireplaces, all sorts. She was really good, actually.
Oh my
And we're going to see one of her fireplaces later.
Okay, I cannot believe this. This is like golden. Now it makes me want to get into woodworking when I see this.
And then here, this is where my grandfather, who's in this picture, that's him there.
Right.
That's him there. He built the doll's house.
So he's the one who built the doll's house.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah.
okay.
So they make it in here. And there is
So they were in here. They were actually in here.
Yeah, they work in here.
They would
It's their
work in here.
workshop things.
Look it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Roger, this is...
Quite sweet.
It's really sweet.
Quite sweet. And I love this little bit, actually. This little bit there is really nice. There's no fun like work. I really like that.
Especially when you're doing work that you love.
Yeah.
Like
And in
woodworking.
classic, you quite find that we put Drummond, sort of classic country house stuff.
Right.
I don't know what we do.
This is, okay, I'm so glad I saw it.
Chains for paintings.
Yep, there you
Carry
go.
them up.
Hanging them on the picture
But
rail.
this is country house life.
This room epitomizes country house life. But it's unbelievable that your great-grandmother had all this equipment. It was in here.
I'll show you the fireplace just
Okay,
here.
all
what
right.
She did.
Let's go see that. And then I'm going to come back one time and just sort of do even deeper exploring. Okay, that's my favorite room in the house.
Really? So, this is this
totally
is
different part.
called the smoking room.
The smoking.
And actually, Paris and I used to live in this wing up to a couple of years ago.
It's very homely. I like it, and a great view.
Good view there.
Yeah, fantastic view.
And you know, we went in the woodwork room to see
Yes.
my great grandmother's tools, all
Yes.
her carving, and she carved this
I
fireplace.
don't believe it. I
Yeah,
don't.
she did amazing, quite a few of them. Amazing
Your
ones.
your great grandmother
yeah,
did
carved
this.
that, yeah. And it's, you can see that Laweth as our finds, the Old English.
Yep.
Love as our finds again.
This is unbelievable that she created this.
Yeah.
How did she obviously, she taught herself, she's self-taught, presumably.
I don't know her story, but she was just very, we got quite a big creative gene in the family.
You
I've got
certainly do, but it's
Artist sisters and things.
It's so detailed. I mean, everything is just unbelievably detailed here. I cannot, I mean, so you've got several of these. She did several.
Yeah, she did a few.
I mean, this is sensational.
Yeah.
I just can't get over the detail to this, and that your great-grandmother and all those tools I just saw. This house is just filled with incredible stories. That's what makes this house, I think, so wonderfully unique, is that it's not that this was, you know, by some famous, you know, carver that
Chippendale.
Exactly, that all historic house
Yeah.
owners would sort of want to bring into their house. This was done by your great-grandmother. That's what's unbelievable. And you've just, and that dollhouse that you showed me, you know, that was done by your
Grandfather.
Your grandfather.
And he made that in the woodwork shop too.
Right.
But the great thing, I think, all these country houses and everything, a lot, you know how practical it is. And you have to be practical.
Yes.
You know, 1 minute you're cleaning out a loo, the next minute you've got, I don't know, a frog caught in a gutter or something.
It's so
you know,
true.
whatever's happened.
Yeah.
And you have to be really practical. And I think a lot of people might think, oh, we might be sitting here with our Labradors and just sipping port. But unfortunately, the life of a historic custodian is very, very different.
It's very different
Yeah.
from, I think, what people believe to be
the case.
the reality. Exactly. Thank you, Roger. This, my favorite room is
The woodwork room.
Is the woodworking room, just because of the story, and then seeing
Yeah.
this, I think it's just absolutely brilliant.
We were just one little extra bit. So when Julian Fellows was looking for Downton Abbey, he came up here and he was looking at this house, and we were quite in the running for it, but they finally decided on Highclere, which is absolutely perfect for it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things in this house, I was noticing next to the fireplace here, you see these, this used to, when there were, obviously you had a lot more help, you just ring that, and so the bells are all downstairs, they're really beautiful. They're beautiful.
The
But
bells.
if you push them now, if any work, you'd only get me.
Okay, well that's all right. You're good. Those are beautiful bells, and on either side.
The old telephone system.
Yep, I know, and it was kind of easier back then. I mean, you know, now we're digital, but then we can come to
Detox.
Broughton, we can detox.
Yeah, detox.
From our digital devices. There you
Yeah.
go. Sensational, absolutely. Second is my second favorite room now. Second favorite room because of this.
Roger had promised to show me one room which, for me, topped them all.
I love archives, Roger.
I have heard.
I'm in your archive room. It's beautiful. I'm going to take inspiration for Mapperton, but this is again your great grandmother. Is that right? I
That's
can see
right.
her name.
The one we
Eleanor
saw in the
Branch.
dining room, Eleanor Branch, the one I thought was a gynecologist, but she was actually a genealogist.
Right.
And this copy's in the British Museum, as you can see, the British Museum,
Yeah.
922. But this basically traces 32 generations back to 1098, Roger Tempest. He came over with William the Conqueror.
Right.
Very likely. And he
Yeah.
was signing papers in the area in the 1090s.
Right.
And then it goes all the way, all their signatures and
No.
how the house in 1597, because the other house was burnt down by our neighbours, And so the new house is 1597. That's what it
Right,
looked like. And things.
that's what it looked like.
So,
Oh,
and these are all the Tempests and
and
everything.
that's all their signatures, and she put in their signatures.
Yeah.
Is your
So-
signature in here yet?
No, but if you look at this one,
Yeah.
this is quite a pretty book, actually, this. I like this.
Yeah, I like
This
this.
is on vellum. But this is about genealogy
Yes, again.
history.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so this is our coat of arms and our crest.
And again, it starts here
Yeah.
with Roger Tempest.
Yeah.
There.
But
oh, I love
if
it.
you go,
I love it.
If you go
I
a
want
few
one of these.
pages. Hang on, there's quite a few of them. Yeah, so here,
Okay.
this is like my that's my parents.
Yeah, and I see Eleanor Blanche there.
Yep,
my
that's
favorite
her.
woman in your
That
family.
is
Yep.
her.
That's your parents.
And then the lady who had 15 kids.
Yeah.
Is her
Oh my
kids.
gosh. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Yeah.
There they are. And there you are.
Yep. That's
Who is this?
myself, my brother Piers.
And your three
my
sisters.
3 sisters, yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is beautiful.
So, but that's very beautiful, but some of this in the archive room, in here we have everything. I mean, there's even a mortgage document from 1326. Mortgage means gripped by death, and we still have a mortgage. But something like this is about a different bit of history, where this was, for example, I'm just trying to find it. This is King James asking to search underground.
For
and
the priests.
Yeah. And then we
No.
got fined 1,400 guineas. Yeah, this is one, for example. In 1723, the estate of Catholics, 1723, and Stephen Tempest also paid the fine for being a papist.
For being a papist.
Yeah.
For not
1,400
taking the oath.
Yeah.
And he was fined £1,400.
Yeah.
That's
It's
a lot
all
of money
good now.
there.
We all get on very well, but
Yeah, phew. We're past it. This, okay, can I come back?
yeah.
I can come back. 'cause
Come back
I-
another time. There's
I
so much in here.
Okay,
They're
I
all
want to.
full, all these of archives.
I want to spend a day here. I also want to just maybe I just like research a little bit like Eleanor
Yeah.
Blanche. I know the
Yeah.
woodworker, the genealogist,
Yeah.
not gynecologist.
Yeah.
She is my favorite.
Yeah, she's special.
Yeah.
And I hope to return to Broughton Sanctuary to explore the archives some more and to fully experience all Avalon has to offer. There is such a sense of peace all around. What a very, very special place. Roger, Paris, and the team are so inspiring. I hope you've enjoyed spending time at Broughton as much as I have, and look forward to seeing you very soon for another historic house visit. Bye, everybody.